So away we go for another week of Titan Reforged Raids. I'm playing on my main rogue here, which is actually not my best geared rogue, but it's the one that has like the combat-oriented professions. I've got tailoring and engineering on this character, so that gives me access to the hyperspeed accelerators on my gloves that use function, increase haste rating by 340 for 12 seconds, and it gives me access to the sword guard embroidery on my cloak, which is just a passive thing that I attack, and it triggers. It's right here. Sword Guard Embroidery, temporary attack power boost. Very good. I'm going to target the boss here, start building up combo points on him. Ooh, maybe I targeted him too late. I don't have combo points. Oh, well. Right. So this character, we got a weapon. We got Fang of Vashj. Fang of Vashj is very, very good, and we like that. But we don't have much else. Most of the rest of our stuff is Phase 1 gear. So we're hoping to be able to pick up some nice cheap items. Belt of Deep Shadow, that's a new item, crafted item from this phase. Greatness and Mirror of Truth. So, should be good. I'm playing Subtlety. Subtlety is, got like a big rework on Titan Reforge. It's way different than it is in regular Wrath of the Lich King, with some new talents, a new ability called Death Mark, finishing move, that will amplify the damage dealt to the target for a short duration and automatically refreshes the duration of my rupture. So I'll be able to put up one rupture at the start and then just spam death marks and the rupture will keep going. Pretty good. The subtlety build here is pretty strong, but it's also pretty complicated to play. You're pressing a lot more buttons than if you were playing assassination. So it's like, if you like the more chill assassination gameplay, press few buttons, do good damage, you can pick that. If you want subtlety and you play it very, very well, you will do a little bit more damage than assassination, but it doesn't feel, or to me, like it's something where you have to play subtlety because it's so much better. Anyways, so, right. Titan Reforged WoW. This is the Chinese, a version of WoW that's only out to the China region. And, through a little bit of extra magic and extra effort, I can play it as a Westerner. And if you guys, watching live on stream or on the YouTube VOD want to play this version, there'll be a link, hang on. Link in the chat for the live viewers. Let me put that there, ! Access. And then for the YouTube viewers, it'll always be linked below the video description, a guide on how to play Titan Reforge. I think it's pretty fun. It's basically Wrath of the Lich King, but with a bunch of custom changes. And then we're going through all the raids from Vanilla, Burning Crusade, and Wrath. They're all scaled up to be level 80 raids. There's 11 phases of raids planned for this version, and we're only on phase 2. So if you haven't gotten in yet, there's still plenty of time. And we have today I'm playing with a lot of Chinese players, Chinese-speaking players, but there are English-speaking guilds. If you go on Alliance side on PvP server number 2, you'll be able to find plenty of English-speaking players if that's what you want. Even soft reserve runs. GDKP is by far the most popular way that the Chinese players play the game. But if that's not your style, Guest Gamers, one of the biggest English-speaking guilds, hosts soft reserve runs that you can go and do if you want to do that. Which I think I might do one of those this week. I'll have to look at the signups. Anyways, it's almost Hydross time. Time to blast. Okay. We got some combo points on the boss. Going in a little closer. So I got some pre-pull actions I want to do. I want to Tricks of the Trade the tank. Then I want to activate Slice and Dice, Speed Potion, Stealth. Put this up. Put that up. Good. Okay, that was a okay opener, I would say. Tricks of the Trade, Step, Rupture, good. Normally, I like to explain everything I'm doing at the same time as I'm doing it. Subtlety has too many different buttons I'm pressing for me to be able to do that. I do not have enough mental bandwidth to make that happen. Basically, we put up one rupture at the start. Hang on, I got a shadow dance window coming up. Here we go. We don't AoE these. Fuck those things. I think I didn't do that shadow dance very well. That's okay though. Gotta maintain slice and dice the whole time. We manually refresh that. The one rupture at the start stays on the whole time thanks to the death mark that I explained before. So basically our finishing move priority is slice and dice first, then death mark, and then if death mark is up and I have 5 combo points and slice and dice is up, I'll hit an eviscerate. We can use Shadow Step to boost the damage of an individual ability by about 20%. So that's good. I think we blasted decently well. We could look at boss only damage. Let's see, enemy damage taken. Ooh, no, we didn't do that well. Oh well. Right. There's a lot going on. Slice and dice, death mark, eviscerate, and then we have to worry about our shadow dance windows. Shadow Dance is a 1-minute cooldown, lets you use stealth abilities without being in stealth. So during Shadow Dance, we want to like save up a bit of energy before Shadow Dance. Oh, look, Shoulder Pads of the Stranger dropped. We need those. Those would be good. Those would be good. Save up energy beforehand because we can spend energy on Ambush, which is really, really good. We can spend energy on Garrote too. And then Garrote's a pretty good stealth opener. What I was doing at the start was like I opened with a Shadow Step Garrote, and then after that Garrote faded, I did another, Shadow Step Vanish Garrote. So for the first minute straight, I should have had pretty good coverage of Garrote, just doing it all the time whenever possible. So that was going on, the like mini game of like keeping the Garrote up with a trick, make sure my Tricks of the Trade damage buff is active, then I Shadow Step, then I Vanish, then I Garrote, and 20 seconds later I do that whole cycle again. And I can use Preparation to get that extra Vanish off. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's a hard build to practice, actually, because a lot of your combo points come from this talent, Honor Among Thieves. Honor Among Thieves, whenever you're in a party or whenever anyone in your party or raid gets a critical strike with a damage or healing spell or ability, you gain a combo point. So you can't really practice it on a target dummy because your flow of combo points is going to be way, way, way different than in a raid. So you don't like get the right feel or muscle memory of how the abilities sequence. So basically you have to practice this in raids. Makes it hard to learn, but I would say pretty rewarding. I think it's fun, I can't, like I said, I can't narrate a lot of that while doing it because I'm keeping track of so many different things. But it's alright. Now, on this one, this is Lurker Below. I will probably not use Shadow Step for the damage boost component because this boss will occasionally knock me away, and Shadow Step for the mobility is extremely valuable. So I'll probably save, I might send some of them for damage if I feel like it, but I'll probably save most of the Shadow Steps for, just in case I get knocked away from the boss so I can teleport right back onto it. Subtlety is extremely good on fights where the mobility from Shadow Step is strong. Oh, Stranger Than Mist says you don't actually have soft reserve runs going right now. We can't run them if we have to put Chinese players from out of the guild. Okay. I know you were running a lot of soft reserve, weekly soft reserve runs in phase 1. How is PvP on those servers? I don't know. I'm not someone who really does PvP much. What happened to your translator? The translator is here sometimes and not other times. Today seems to be like a day that they're not here. Sometimes we have a Chinese player who's in both the Chinese voice comms and the English-speaking voice comms, listening to both, and then like translating any relevant information back and forth, which is that's very quality, very good quality, very very fun. They did do a really cool thing with the PvP in Phase 1. They made it so they made like Blackrock Mountain the like Giga PvP zone, and they counted your player kills anytime you're in the zone. And then the guild that had the players with the most kills by the end of the phase got to rename the server. So the server is now called like PvP2, and then like the guild's name, and then some other words. I honestly don't remember which guild won, but that was a really cool thing. So they're like guild versus guild competition to try to just farm out as many kills as they could in Blackrock Mountain to win that leaderboard and be able to rename the server. We are not winning this. This boss is called Lurker Below. You have to fish it up out of the water to get it to spawn. And every time you do the fishing line, it's just like a chance to summon the boss. So sometimes you get lucky and you summon it pretty quick. Other times, not so much. So I'm just waiting, because as soon as I see the giant fish jump out of the water, I have a lot of, you know, pre-fight actions to take. Actually, I think I want to be unstealth. There we go. Deep breath. We go underwater for the deep breath. We're good. Second dance. Good. Keeping up that death mark. Death mark is like the red skull and crossbones icon on my UI in the middle. Oh, underwater phase. Okay, so we chillin'. Big chillin'. Try to not die to these guys. Betrayed. Hit on these. Do some damage. Good. We just have to kill some ads, and then the boss will come back and we'll finish him probably before the second underwater phase. Whoops. Fell off a little bit. I'm gonna save this Tricks of the Trade and Shadow Dance for when the boss is up. Gotta be coming back soon. Tricks the tank. Did I do it too early? No. Okay, we're good. We're good. There it is. Starting right out with a breath attack. We go underwater to avoid it. Go back up above water. Usually with all the combo points you get from Honormong Thieves, you're only doing 1 combo point builder per 5-point finishing move. Is about the rate you're usually operating at. It's a lot of free combo points. Whoopsies, wrong button. Meant to eviscerate there at the end. Choker of Animalistic Fury. Oh, that's okay. Hit haste. Agility. Better than this thing, for sure. 113 attack power. Yeah, okay. I like that. Pattern, Belt of Blasting, Gloves of the Vanquisher. Rogues are not on Vanquisher token in this. They are on Conqueror token. Seal of Danzalar, Bracers of Eradication. Okay. Garrote better than Ambush. Yeah, 1 Garrote that deals its full duration of bleed damage is usually more damage than an Ambush. So in each Shadow Dance, we typically do 1 Garrote, and then the rest ambushes while we can. So 2 items we're interested in drop so far. Choker of Animalistic Fury, and then also the Shoulder Pads of the Stranger. We don't super care about this Choker. I think we would rather have the necklace from Kael'thas that drops every week. Let me see. Let me compare the item levels. Lurker, Choker is 219, and Tempest Keep, Kael'thas, Verdant Sphere. This is a 226. Yeah, this one's definitely better. Hit crit, attack power, socket, higher item level. This is a Pug SSC. No, it kind of, yes, no. It's a Chinese guild. I don't know how they recruit their Chinese players. And then they take, 5-ish foreigners in every raid. They're intentionally, working together with the foreigners to, have a collaboration type of raid deal. I would not call it a pug. Can you give me a TLDR what these Chinese SOD servers are like? I can give you a text command because I literally spent the first 15 minutes going over what these Chinese SOD servers are like. And maybe you just got here, but I'm not going to repeat everything I just said in the last 15 minutes. But the bot has a response to you that gives you kind of the gist of it. This boss should be pretty good for me. It's pretty much just a no mechanics, single target, pump the boss type of situation. We could get unlucky, though. This does have 1 mechanic that's relevant. The random target bubble. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen. Are they Oh, they're resetting. They're running out. They're resetting. That was a hunter pet running in there. I saw it. It was a little demon hound thingy. El Clasico. Exactly. 200 gold fine incoming. Sometimes they issue fines if you fuck up in a way that, like, compromises the raid. Probably was a foreigner. No. Look. There is a Chinese player, Hunter, that said sorry in raid chat. They called themselves out. Admitted their mistake. Apologized. It's good. Although now I don't have any combo points, because I had combo points on the boss before. But then, because the boss was pulled and then reset, it cleared out my combo points. Grab the pitchforks? No, no, no. We don't need to grab the pitchforks. It's going to be fine. I now only have a 1-point slice and dice pre-pull, though. That part's not fine. Huge travesty. Let's see if we can do better. I explained the general idea of what I was trying to do between Hydross and this boss. Let me see if I can execute a little bit better than last time. Fix the trade the tank. Dance coming up soon. A dance, I would say. We get another dance in soon. Dances up. Gonna pool some energy. Tricks the trade up. Good. Should have stepped that eviscerate. Nice. Pretty good. Music's a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down. There we go. That was good. That was good. I think we might be top on boss damage. We didn't hit the ads at all on that one. Wow, we were top, and we were top by a good margin. Nice. I felt like that was one of my best execution of, like, pressing the correct buttons. I've done. Okay, this next boss, they're Oh, one ad, then boss. Okay. Killing one ad and then boss instead of doing the full... Hang on, I'm gonna figure out what exactly they're doing. They're saying normally what you do on this boss is you kill all 3 of the ads, then you kill the boss. Because if you bring the boss's health low when the ads are still alive, the boss will enrage and do a lot of damage to the tank. And they're saying, fuck it, we can handle that. They're saying we're only going to kill one of the ads, then focus the boss, and hopefully survive the boss's enrage. So I'm just holding up my combo points on one of these ads instead of helping here, because that could compromise my combo points. So normally I would switch to a Blade Flurry build for this boss if we were going to AoE cleave everything down, all the ads. But if we're only killing one ad and then boss, then I think I should stay in my single target build. Skull first, then tunnel boss. Yeah, so we're just going to kill this one, then go boss, see what happens. Cubanito says, for this raid, do you still have to run to Outland when the tiers are all over the place? Yep. Yeah, you have to go out to the world. I mean, you can get summoned. There's summoning stones. But, like, you know, you have, you know, Dalaran City from Wrath of Lich King, which has a portal to Shattrath City, has a portal to Ironforge, has a portal to Stormwind, to Orgrimmar, to whatever. So, I wouldn't say it's that, you know, inconvenient to get out there. Watching you play sub in this version of WoW makes my wrists hurt, says NPW. Don't worry, it's not that bad. You just get used to it, and then it's fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. We get any good Morogrim loot? Pauldrons, Void Star, Ring of Sundered Souls. Leather. No, I think all the Morogrim loot sucks. I think we tried doing this week 1, where we just basically hit the boss first. And we died, and then we decided to kill the ads. Maybe, you know, maybe killing one ad and then boss makes it better. Maybe everyone's gear's stronger now. This is week 4 of Serpent Shrine and Tempest Keep. Hopefully it'll be a Warp Spring Coil week. Yeah, we missed our first chance. Morogrim can drop any of the class trinkets. And then you can also get the class trinkets dropping from the bosses they normally come from. So, like, for Warp Spring Coil, the Rogue Trinket, you're talking about Void Reaver. Alright, here we go. Timer's out. All these mobs we killed are kind of, like, visually in the way. Ready, set. Lost my place a little bit. hard to see what's going on. Oh, that Garrote was not good. I didn't see how close to dead this thing was. Alright, on to the boss now. Gotta re-up a Rupture on this target. Whoa, that was a big blast. Oops. There we go. Oh, uh-oh. One guy's dead. Tank isn't dead yet, though. That's the important... now the tank's dead. Now it's over. Can we still kill it? Maybe? %? Nope. I think that's a rip. Not enough people left alive. Oh, there was a DI. Alright, we go again. We go again. It's okay. Wait, the rogue got DI'd? Wait, that's crazy. Wait, the rogue can't res any. Oh, maybe the rogue. Oh, this is a thing they added. I don't know how many weeks ago it was. Recently, they added Scroll of Mass Resurrection. Can only be used by classes that can resurrect normally, but it just reses the whole team. Which I'm actually kind of surprised they aren't doing that right now. I'm surprised no one in this group has it. Maybe mostly players in this group don't expect to be wiping. So they're like, we don't need to prepare Scroll of Mass Resurrection. No way. They are fairly expensive, but it's a big time save when you have to res an entire raid. See. So this was the first target that we were supposed to attack. And then this is the boss. Oh, we did pretty good on the boss. We didn't do as good on the other guy. A lot of damage on that. But it's probably all incidental, like AoE damage. Alright, food buff. Still got our flasks, still got our poisons. Just have to refresh food buff. We were really close there. Druid died up in the tunnel past the... Wait, how far away? What? Like that direction? They ran all that way over to ads? Because we cleared everything from that direction. That's got to be a fine of some kind. Minus social credit score at a minimum. Oh, I should target this. So if people are like healing and casting some spells, I might get some combo points if they get like crit heals or anything. Those combo points before starting are really valuable. Being able to start with 30 seconds on your slice and dice or 25 seconds on your slice and dice is a pretty big deal. Like big bonus damage for your opener to have slice and dice already running. So those are all coming from this talent, Honor Among Thieves. Whenever someone crits with an ability, you get a combo point on your current target. That lets me get combo points on something before we even engage it in combat. Which is pretty handy. Pretty handy. You can also use redirect. Rogues have redirect in this version. That's just like pulls your combo points off your current target, stores them as a buff on your character, then you cast redirect again on a new target, and it puts them onto that target. So that's another way you can get combo points on a boss before engaging it, and that's something that all the builds of Rogue can do in this version, not just Subtlety Rogues. So that's what you're usually doing for like an Assassination Rogue if you're playing that build. Yeah. Oh, we got 1 point. That's better than no points. 2 points. Yo, 3 points. People casting some spells. 4 points. Here we go. Tricks of the Trade is out. No! I got really screwed by that tornado. Alright, we're delaying this dance just a little bit to line up with the Tricks of the Trade. Alright, I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of just screwing up. I hate this boss that, like, is randomly disabling me and I can't really see what's going on. I'm definitely... This is unlike Morogrim, where I did great execution. This is mediocre at best. Tank dead. Uh-oh. No. Tank alive again? Okay. Okay. We're in it. In it, maybe. Maybe we're in it. Hitchens dead. Unlucky Hitchens. Alright. Maybe that's a little bit scuffed. These guys will just despawn when we go into the hallway, I think. Alright. What do we get? Conqueror legs. Those are good for me. Spyglass. Leggings of the Vanquisher. World Breaker. Mace. Chance on hit increases the critical strike rating of your next attack made within 4 seconds by 1,875. I don't know what percent that converts to, but I hope it's 100. There are guild spend. Do Chinese servers have a parsing culture, or is it not a thing there? Asks Ebel. I mean, I would say it's pretty similar to how it is in North America. Is like some people really, really, really care about that and invest a lot of time in it, and other people, you know, barely know what Warcraft logs is. You know, I've had a lot, you know, raids that struggle to clear Molten Core and raids that, you know, have, you know, half the raid parsing 99s. Totem, despawns the water elemental. Okay, prediction. This is the best stream prediction of the whole raid. Star prediction. Will Thunder Fury drop? This boss is where Thunder Fury drops in this version of the game. Okay? This is Leotheras the Blind. This is where you get Thunder Fury. Also, I'm switching out to Berserker card for this boss. Wait, what are they doing? Oh, we're grabbing extra trash mobs? Okay. I don't think I've seen them do this before. We got some trash mobs in back, too. They're just clearing out everything, it looks like. Get these water totems. Alright, predictions up for whether Thunder Fury drops. We have almost 7,000 on Believers against 13,000 channel points on Doubters. I've never seen it drop before, but this is the one where it, you know, potentially drops from. So this guy, you kill the, like, 3 Spellbinders first, and then Leotheras is unleashed, and then you fight him, and then he turns into a demon, and you keep fighting him. He's like a demon hunter, and, like, the lore of demon hunters in World of Warcraft is, like, they take on the spirit of a demon in their, and they have, like, the mental fortitude to fight against the demon trying to possess them. I should have said they intentionally become possessed by a demon, but the demon hunter has, like, the mental fortitude to fight against the demon and prevent it from fully controlling them. So then they gain the powers of the demonic possession, but they don't give up the control of their their own self, that's so fucking cool. I don't know if you've ever heard that bit of lore from World of Warcraft, and, you know, the Warcraft is not World of Warcraft, you know, it's the Warcraft universe. But, yeah, Leotheras is a demon hunter. Yeah. So he has, like, a demonic side to him. Does it just drop the weapon or the bindings? It drops the dormant wind-kissed blade, and then you need to do a little quest to turn it into the Thunder Fury, which is different than, like, classical Thunder Fury. You have to take it, and you talk to a certain NPC, and then once you do that, you have to go to either Lady Vashj in Serpentshrine Cavern or Void Reaver in Tempest Keep, and you have to get hit by their lightning attacks 10 times to charge up the Thunder Fury blade. And then once you do that, then you can go back to the NPC, turn it in for the fully charged Thunder Fury. Alright, so we don't need to Tricks of the Trade. We don't need to really do shit here. We just hit this a little bit. And we'll save all the cooldowns and stuff for when Leotheras actually comes out. Slice refresh. Good. Oh, we gotta be away from the tank now. Which we were kind of away from the tank anyways. Alright, now it's going to be both demon and human at the same time, but we're kind of just killing him. Alright. Good. Closing prediction. 30% believers. What do we get? Wild Fury, Great Staff, Protector, Vanquisher, Coral Barbed Shoulders, Nether Vortex. Seems like that's a no. There's a no Thunder Fury. Yikes. Alright, prediction, choose outcome, Thunder Fury drop. Nope, no Thunder Fury.
that strat with the positioning was much better.
Yeah, they didn't have to drag the boss so that we had more uptime on it.
Yeah.
So normally what they would do is they would take it from the room where the boss is to begin with, and they would like drag it around a corner and fight it over there. But that was basically just like minus 10 seconds to your DPS time. So they were like, you know, F that. We're not going to do that anymore, I guess. Does it drop G-Boos? Do you mean T-Boos? Blazing Longsword? I think I've seen that on this server before. But I don't think you'd find it here. I think you'd have to be in like lower level dungeons or something to see that drop. How do we do on damage? Oh, we did pretty good. I thought my execution wasn't that great. You know, chasing the boss around is always kind of hard.
Simonize is a genius.
Yo, hat change request. Okay. Got that. Where are they going over there? Oh, that's all the pets that are going over there. Is there a no hat request? No. There is not that. What do you think? Brim down? Brim up? Up? Okay. How long have you been collecting hats? Well, that's the funny thing. I never really thought of myself as a hat collector. You know, just if I saw a cool hat, I might buy it. But I never went out of my way to gain hats. You know, I just kind of at one point had like 10 different cool hats. And then I was like, then it just became like a stream thing. Just like you never thought of yourself as a hat brother. Yeah. Right. Hmm. 6 minutes left on these. Is that enough for this boss? This boss can be very long. I should just refresh him right now, so we don't have an issue. Really missing out on a merchandise opportunity by not selling Simonized branded hats? Yeah. I mean, I could get like a baseball cap Simonized show. Something that I could, you know, that would be... That's not like a very fancy hat. I bet I could make, get like a merch manufacturer that would do that. Kitchens, do we by chance have like assignments of regions to go to?
Nothing yet. I'm checking the YY, but I think they're just telling people now. Okay, they're done.
Oh yeah, okay. Pull timer's out. I see that now. Yeah, probably it's like always where it's just foreigner go in the middle, do no mechanic. I gotta be rocket booting. This shit's bogus. Alright, phase transition. Oh, my damage meter's a little bit messed up. There we go. Okay, yeah, so on this phase, it's honestly just like... It's pretty close to just being like tab out for 5 minutes. So what's happening is there's a slow trickle of ads spawning from, you know, the water pools around this giant platform we're on. And they just slowly come up here. We kill all of them. Some of them are elite, some of them are non-elite. And then every once in a while, a tainted elemental spawns. And we have to kill it. And then someone has to loot a tainted core off of the elemental. And then the tainted core can be used to disable one of the 4 shield generators. And once all 4 shield generators are gone, then you can progress to the 3rd and final phase of the boss. So basically, it's sit around and wait for the 4 tainted elementals to spawn. That's the whole phase, pretty much. Some of these mobs, like, do stuff, kind of, but not really. This one does a big, like, fear in melee range every time it does that purple pulse on its feet.
Oh yeah, they were talking about partitioning Warcraft logs so that the dead time here wouldn't count.
Oh, that'd be good, I guess.
With it.
This part's honestly, it's just fucking boring.
Yeah, and ruins logs because everyone is like, yeah, they have people who like kill the boss in like 20 minutes and everyone else does no damage just so that they can.
Yeah. Any fight where you have this like a big segment of forced downtime, the way you get a higher individual damage output is you make the boss be super duper long and have everyone else throttle DPS except for that one person, so they get a bunch of uptime. And then, like, you do this phase at normal pace, and then you do the same thing later, and it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, you just want this phase to be a small part of the log as possible.
Right. By making the fight intentionally way longer, this, like, forced downtime becomes a much smaller percentage.
Yeah.
Oh, they're pinging, probably for a tainted. Yeah, see the green thing? That tells me that only comes from a tainted elemental. Yeah, they got it. They threw it. Alright, so that's 3 down, 1 to go. If you're really clever, you can hit these guys and weave in and out, like go in, hit them with one ability, go out, and not get affected by their AoE fear pulse, because that fear is like short melee range. Oh, that's the fear. It also gives you a huge move speed increase, so you run really, really far. Goodbye. We good? We're good. Here we go. Boss time. Oh. That big lightning thing in the middle, that was called static shock. Makes me just pulse a huge amount of lightning damage to all my teammates nearby. So if I didn't have Cloak of Shadows to remove it, I would basically want to run away and stop dealing damage. I would stop dealing damage to the boss and... Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. Immobilized in the slime. Damn. Rip. Tried to hit a feint. Reduce AoE damage taken. That happens sometimes. It's either like slime plus, yeah, look, all the other melee. I think I died to the first one and they died to the second one. Alright, what do we get? Oh, Conqueror Helm. I like that. Conqueror Helm, Paladin Rogue Shaman. Kraken Heart. Prism of Inner Calm. Encase yourself in a prism of calm, ignoring all damage taken for the next 8 seconds. This effect does not remove debuffs. Okay. Vanquisher Glove. Nope, not for me. Vanquisher, Vanquisher, Vanquisher. They're putting out all the Vanquisher first. Conqueror. Okay, Conqueror Helm. Need that on this guy, right? Yeah, I need that. Conqueror... Oh, wait. Conqueror... Wait. I don't need the glove. I do want the helm, and I do want the leg. Alright, looks like we're winning them. Pretty low cost on those. Very nice. I think that's 3 pieces of the set. If we're lucky in the other raid, we might be able to get 4 piece on this guy. Let's see. Trade for my 2 items. Oh, busy. So I already have the glove. I'm just not using it right now. That was leg and helmet. Oh, we gotta get shoulder pads of the stranger too, dude. We're gonna go net negative in this raid again. Portal to Dalaran. Strangers? Yes, please. This thing is an upgrade, but not bis. I think we're spending on a lot of other things. I think we have to pass on this thing. Try to get the one from Kael'thas, because I am pretty limited on funds. Min bid, fine. It is usually good manners to put at least minimum bid on anything that's an upgrade. So while I'm not thrilled to get this, it's good manners to bid on things that are upgrade. Put at least minimum. All right, now we got actually like good gear on this character. We went from not very much to quite a lot of items. 4 items for minimum bid in this raid. What we really need is we need a Ashes of Alar mount to drop off of Kael'thas. Then our financial situation will be solved because it'll go for hundreds of thousands of gold, and we'll get a percentage cut of that, and then we'll be cruising. Krakenheart breastplate, nice. Wild Fury, Great Staff, Agility, Stamina, Dodge, and Expertise. I guess this is for like a Feral Druid, maybe. Lesdy says, how did this hunter get Alar as a pet? I don't know. All I know is that's a thing hunters can do on this server. They can have Alar as a pet. Wraps of Purification, Pauldrons of the Argent Sentinel, Nether Vortex. Usually what happens in this raid is once we're done with Tempest Keep, or sorry, Serpent Shrine, we get summoned to Tempest Keep. They have 3, like, alts logged out. Like, you saw some extra people join the raid. Summon the first couple of people, and then they summon everyone else. And, you know, no travel time to the next raid. Boom. Alright, so biggest item we're looking for out of Tempest Keep would be Conqueror Chestplate. Conqueror Chest would actually just activate 4-piece for us. We could get a shoulder tier token, but we don't really want that. We just got these shoulder pads of the Stranger as our shoulder item. Ideally, we go shoulder pads of the Stranger plus 4-piece Death Mantle. In the other slots, in the helmet, chest, leg, and glove. Wish we could access this game version within North America servers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the real, like, business decision behind it. I don't think they really said so publicly why it's in China and not in North America. You know, a lot of corporate speak, kind of like talking around, like, why the North American audience doesn't get this. But you can access it as a North American player. It just takes a bit of extra work. Oh, that necklace we got. I think we can equip it right away. Where'd it go? Pendant to the Outcast Hero. Ah, here it is. Animalistic Fury. 30 hit, 34 haste. 113 attack power. Yeah, that's gotta be better. That's good. Problem says, good evening. I have a question regarding the combat spec. Say, always keep fast offhand sword in offhand. Fast sword in offhand. Even if using mace in main hand. But I got from Karazhan, doesn't matter. Fast offhand sword. Have to use the dagger in offhand? Do I just change? No. Go run Black Morass again and get Latro's shifting sword. You could, if you want to think what you want to think about, you say, I think the raw DPS on the dagger outperforms the sword spec from Latros. You can think that. You're welcome to do that. I'm not going to sit here and try to argue with you about your feelings about thinking the high DPS dagger is good. If you don't want to get Latros or you don't want to use Latros, that's up to you, but it would not be my recommendation. What if he wants to do less DPS? Well, then it'd be a really good choice to not use Latros. If he just wants to do less DPS. Alright, guys. What do you think is my favorite boss in Tempest Keep? My favorite boss in Serpentine Cavern is definitely Morogrim Tidewalker. Based on that information, what do you think is my favorite boss in Tempest Keep? Grey Mist says Big Robot. Loot Reaver. It's Void Reaver. Wasn't too hard to figure out, huh? Yeah, the one where you sit there and do your rotation and do no mechanics. God. That's the best. I feel like as long as each raid has one of those bosses, I'm pretty happy. I always felt like I was doing less DPS because you're hitting metal. Well, in like regular Burning Crusade, Void Reaver is immune to bleeds and immune to poisons, which kind of just cucks rogues really hard, but not in this version. Susceptible to all debuff types. There's none of this bullshit of like, oh, you like playing Fire Mage? Well, I guess you can suck it because you're raiding Molten Core. Respec to Frost or get fucked. There's none of that. That's like how it was in vanilla and how it was in like other versions. There's none of that here. And I think that's stupid too. Like, why do you have this build that just like doesn't work in this raid and works in every other raid? It's like really weird. Or like works on certain bosses and then other bosses are just flat out immune to your damage. Like, that's dumb, if you ask me. How are you going to attack the Fire Lord with fire? Well, here's the thing. He's not really that much of a Fire Lord if we kill him every single week and make him look like a bitch. How about that? Yeah, fight fire with fire. Haven't you heard that phrase before? You gotta fight fire with fire. But in World of Warcraft, you can't do that. Because Blizzard says that's dumb. But I think Blizzard's dumb. How about that? Oh, getting knocked around like crazy here. Okay. Almost alarm time. Alright, now it's alarm time. Target the boss. They're gonna bring him in pretty quick here. Okay. Nice. Second tank is going already. Good. Waiting to the tank to get there. Tank was a little behind this time, so I couldn't go right away. Low energy arrow, nice. Probably gonna jump again. Those jumps that I'm doing with like sprint and shadow step, they really help me spend more time on the boss and do more damage. And I can only do that if the tanks are moving ahead of the boss. Because if I jump to the boss and the tank isn't there already, I will just get killed by the boss. The tank has to be in position ahead of me for me to be able to jump and do that, which they were every time this time, which is great. You guys end up getting OHB? Yeah, after, I'm not sure how many tries and 8 different players joining the group, we did get it. The Epic Bracer did not drop, but the non-best in slot, but still an upgrade belt did drop, and I got it. So, in the end, plus 10 DPS upgrade. Replaced another piece of Bone Scythe. It was all worth it. What? I didn't realize. Wait, he had gone up in the air right when I tried to do my Shadow Step Vanish Garrote sequence. It didn't really work very well. Nice. Anything good? Arcanite Steam Pistol, Conqueror Shoulders, Tome of Fire Redemption, Nether Vortex. Okay. You know, we did chess event this morning and it was a complete disaster. I missed chess in your pug stream yesterday. Was it griefed? We got it second try. I think we would have got it first try, but like I had other people like I was controlling the king and other people surrounded me and then I couldn't move away when I got fire on me. So yeah, I don't know. I would say I was hearing a lot of other people say that the chess event is bugged and the Medivh is cheating too often and putting fire too often. My impression is maybe that's true. Maybe they're all coping. Maybe they're all coping because they're bad at chess event. They didn't solo it dozens of times on Mist of Pandaria like I did. They just aren't chess, like their chess elo isn't as high as mine. And, you know, maybe that's why they failed and they're coping. And because they don't want to admit that they're just low elo chess players. That could also be an explanation for why everyone says it's bugged. Simon is just begging for another Old Hillsbrad Foothills with that talk. Yeah, bro, sign me up. That Old Hillsbrad was in a way. Actually, no, I don't want to go back to that. I can't lie to you guys. I was hoping to have some chill dungeon runs, and that Old Hillsbrad Foothills was not chill. Did you clear it? Yes. You have to check the stream VOD to see how many attempts it was. I wasn't keeping track because keeping track would have been too depressing. Good morning, Simon. You missed a dad joke. Wait, hold on. How far do I have to scroll up? Hope you have a great day. Here's a dad joke. You're on a horse in full gallop. Next to you is a giraffe running. Behind you is a lion. What do? Get off the carousel. Good. Maybe Pagani, you sent it while I was in the middle of a Lar boss. So I was kind of like locked in on the boss then. Maybe that's why I missed it. Oh, I forgot to get combo points on the thing again. Am I ready? I'm ready enough. Maybe we'll get some combo points from stuff happening. I gotta be better about that. Targeting the boss on the trash pack before the boss to get my combo points. That's on me. I should be doing that. Alright. We maybe can get Warp Spring Coil. Maybe. We will see. One point. That's good. That's good. 1 point. 2 points. Walk. Fix the trade. Better remember to rocket boot and not. go. Okay. Good, good, good. What hits me and prevents me from doing the Garrote there? Huh. Well, we'll try again on the next Tricks of the Trade to do another Vanish Garrote. What? I don't know what is happening that I can't. I was doing it successfully on every other pull, but I can't seem to Vanish Garrote on this boss. Oh well. Let that energy build up. Fix the trade out. Good. Maybe the boss was in the middle of casting pounding that like pulses damage. Maybe I should try to look for whether that's happening or not and intentionally not do my attempt at vanishing and garroting when that's occurring. Maybe that was the problem. I was not paying attention to that before, so I don't know if that was the problem. Okay, next Tricks of the Trade, I should be able to try to Vanish Garrote. Didn't work that time, and he definitely wasn't doing pounding. Huh. I don't know what the deal is. I feel like I didn't have trouble doing that on many of the other bosses, like the Serpent Shrine ones. But something's fucky with this guy. Whatever, top of the meter anyways, who cares? Fell Reaver's Piston, Vanquisher, Dread Boots, Protector, no Warp Spring Coil, unlucky. Next boss has a pretty good item for us, the Heart Razor Dagger. Heart Razor Dagger, pretty good dagger. We might get a bonus payout for being the high damage dealer. It's top 2 melee damage dealers and top 2 range damage dealers get a little bit of extra bonus gold at the end, which I think is fun. I think that's like one of the most fun things about GTKP is some raids will give a little bit of a bonus to the top damage dealers, and it's not really about like how much the bonus is. Oh, is it, you know, significant or not? Is that there is a bonus, so it's like a extra fun incentive to compete for. You know, it's something, and, you know, helps you, you know, lock in, focus up, be excited about doing good. Falstaff 13, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming. I really appreciate that. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, Falstaff. Welcome to the stream. Recognition as well? Yeah, right, because like the people that win it, you know, they get called out as being the winners. TBC had GDKPs, there would be 2 times as many pugs. Oh man, don't get me started on that. It's too late. I'm already started on it. The GDKP ban, I think it's like fine. If you want to ban GDKPs, that's fine. But what I think is like maybe I might, in some cases I would disagree with it, others not. I'm pretty much like I'm a GDKP enjoyer, but if they're not there, I'm still gonna enjoy the game. The case on the anniversary servers is that GDKP is banned. You cannot go to a raid, auction the loot I'm mind controlled. You cannot go to a raid, auction the loot, and then distribute the gold to all the raiders at the end. That's not allowed. What is allowed is having a raid leader hard reserve Dragon Spine trophy and sell it to an individual raider for, 20,000 gold, and then the raid leader keeps the entire 20,000 gold. Now, to me, that doesn't really make any sense why that would be allowed, but GDKP, where you distribute the spent gold to all the raid members, isn't allowed. People who want to go buy gold and then turn that bought gold into character power and raid items are still totally able to do that in TBC Anniversary and in Classic Anniversary. So the goal of like stopping gold buyers from being able to get raid loot with their bought gold is not realized. So, I mean, I think the main problem, like Blizzard NA has, is that they have a policy, and slightly unrelated to this, hang on, let me just focus on the boss. You guys remind me to rant about this afterwards, okay? See, I can Vanish Step Garrote on this boss, but somehow not Void Reaver. It's fucked. Why is it so fucked like that? Where'd the tank go? What the? What? Why can't I Tricks the Trade? There we go. Alright, I failed it this time too. Huh. Wonder what the hell is happening that's causing that. There must be something. I'm pretty inconsistent on being able to Vanish Garrote mid-fight. I think that was too low combo points on the death mark. I think that was only a 4.
You are hopelessly outmatched.
Alright, more ad waves. Oh, I dropped my rupture. Oh, I didn't put a rupture up after this. Oh, I see. I see. Did I, like, super fuck up here by... Did I forget rupture at some point? No Heart Razor. Dang it. We wanted a dagger called Heart Razor off of that guy. Let's see. Look at boss only damage. Much better. I think we're a shoo-in for the top melee damage dealer bonus at this point. We've been doing pretty good. Just wondering, what ping do you get on the Titan Reforge servers? Under 200. I'm at 185 right now. Totally fine. If I want to take a few points in Master Deception to sap mobs in Heroics, how many do you think is worth putting before it's too much to worry about being revealed when attempting sap? I think you need to get good, and I would never do that. What you need to get good is you need to use Distract to approach the mobs, distract them to face away from you, and if Distract resists, you can do a preemptive Vanish. Vanish gives you a buff that massively increases your stealth level. I would not sacrifice your DPS talents to take ranks of Master Deception. I think that's a terrible idea. T-Gloss says, I think GDKBs are awful for the game because it just made people buy gold, and unless you were buying gold or a no-lifer gold farming 24/7, you could never afford good items anyways. Well, I have multiple years worth of VODs on this channel, T-Gloss, of me participating in GDKP raids, never ever buying gold, and gearing up multiple characters. So your premise is wrong, that you can't get good items without buying gold. And I have literally hundreds of hours of proof on my YouTube VODs channel and has been on this Twitch channel. So that is just not true to begin with. Made people buy gold. I think that might be tied into your other assumption, but I would say, you know, Anniversary that didn't have, you know, the Anniversary servers, at no point was GDKP allowed on those servers, and you know, we had consumable prices so high that they were higher than Era servers that had been live for, you know, 5 years. And the Anniversary servers live for 1 year had higher consume prices. And you know, I'm not too involved in the GDKP, or sorry, the like gold buying scene, as I'm not a gold buyer. But from what a lot of people tell me, gold buying and botting was more rampant on the Anniversary servers than it ever has been before on a server that didn't have GDKPs. So I think also the idea that the existence of GDKPs makes people buy gold more is contradicted by the evidence of the Anniversary servers and how those operated. So I respect that you have a different opinion than me, but I think that there is evidence, not just opinion, that counters your point of view. Iron Thor says, GDKP rant reminder. Okay, what I was talking about right before Solarian was, I think the problem with Blizzard NA, like the Western Blizzard whatever, is they have these policies of like, no gold buying, no this, no that, this is allowed, this isn't. But they're extremely ineffective and inconsistent at enforcing those policies. So you have this weird limbo of like, a lot of people buy gold even though it's against the rules, and a lot of people buy gold and don't get punished even though it's against the rules, and sometimes when people do get punished, it's a very light punishment and they, you know, just continue buying gold. I think Blizzard's main problem is they are not willing to put forward the resources necessary to enforce their own terms of service, their own like rules that they set out. So it takes a situation like me being a legitimate player and like feeling behind because all these people are buying gold and not getting punished. Like it makes me feel like a stupid bitch. I want you know like, shit, man. I mean, I don't know if I would buy gold even if it was allowed, but like, knowing all these other people around me are buying gold and gaining a massive advantage and not getting in trouble for it, not getting actioned for it, just makes me feel like a stupid bitch as a legitimate player.
Let us see how your nerves hold up against the darkener.
Coco Mofo Jumbo says gearing from GDKP only works if you're raiding multiple characters per reset. Well, what if I gear all my characters through GDKP? Like the characters that go in GDKPs, they just go in GDKPs all the time. 3 characters getting 3, sets of gear is what I did pretty much all of Wrath of the Lich King. I would say that is also contradicted by the evidence of all the hundreds of hours of VODs on my channel. Impossible? Well, you're welcome to view the Wrath of the Lich King VODs if you want to. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I mean, there's, like I said, literally hundreds of hours of evidence on my, YouTube's VOD channel from this Twitch channel of me raiding GDKP through Wrath of the Lich King and early season of Discovery, gearing up multiple characters.
Well done. You have proven worthy to test your skills against my master engineer, Telemachus.
Smart on how you bid on things, yeah. I mean, you can't go all in on every item that drops that's an upgrade. Sometimes, something drops, it's an upgrade, and, it goes... You have enough gold to bid more, but you just don't. Because it's too expensive. You're like, okay, well, just get it next time.
Weapons in my arsenal.
Alright, we gotta get 2 items, the Warp Slicer and the Infinity Blade. We have a special job with this. Infinity Blade here. Oh, wait, we're not done with this part yet. Okay, now we're done with that part. And where's a Warp Slicer? Warp Slicer here. Then we go Deadly here. Instant here. And we're good. Slade says, what tips do you have for someone who will be hitting 60 and wanting to get into GDKP but has little gold? Well, you have 2 options. You can, one, you can message raid looters and say, look, I don't have a lot of gold, so I might not be able to bid on much. But, I'll keep coming back. I'll reinvest the gold because, I'm going to be trying to gear up this character. Some people will be okay with that. Others won't. Or you try to do some gold farming in-game by whatever means, are available on whatever theoretical version of the game you're talking about, and to have some seed money to, get going. So you have a little bit of money to start with, be cautious with your spending, spend some, but not a lot, and, build up your wealth over time. I mean, really, I think, GDKP has a lot of benefits that a totally legitimate player would enjoy. What the fuck was that? It's a raid format where everyone who attends gets something valuable for their time. You do not get that with soft reserve or main spec over off spec. It's a raid format where geared and experienced players are incentivized to attend. Even if you have most of the gear from the raid already, you still have an incentive to attend, which means you generally get a higher, average player quality in a GDKP raid versus a raid format that doesn't incentivize geared and experienced players to attend. You know, you go to the... Hang on. I gotta actually do my raid. Oh, I don't have hemorrhage on my... I see. Hang on. I'll keep, you know, I'll keep up with this later. I gotta focus in on the boss now. Slice refresh. Fire. Fire bad. Got him. Wait, I'm on the Phoenix? That's wrong. God, I hate this boss. There's so much going on. Hard to keep track of everything. Phoenix about to die in melee. Not ideal. Kill the egg. Also in melee. Okay, good.
I have not come this far to be stopped. The future I have planned will not be jeopardized. Now you will
Every piece of BIS is an unreasonable goal for any loot system. That doesn't mean GDAPs are bad. Yeah, I remember this. One person, when I remember, this was an argument made when I was doing Wrath of Lich King. There was like, well, you can never get full BIS in GDAP. And I was like, okay, well, theoretically, if you had a loot system where literally you were the first priority, you get literally every item, and you raided Ulduar for 16 weeks in a row, I calculated with the drop odds of every BIS item, even if you were literal #1 prio on every item, you'd have like a 85% chance to be full BIS after 16 weeks. And that's a obviously completely unreasonable loot system. So like the idea that, oh, you can't be full BIS in a GDKP, you know, I don't think that's like an argument that makes sense to argue against GDKP. Not doing another air phase? That's crazy. Oh, the Phoenix! The Phoenix! The Phoenix! We're fine. Everything's fine. Boss is dead. Alright. Thalassian Wilder Cloak, Double Protector, Twin Blade, Verdant Sphere. Damn, no alarm mount. Well, that loot mostly sucks. Best of both worlds is GDKP isolated from gold buying. I would say that yes, that's the best of both worlds, but I also think, this is my theory, and this is going a little bit out on the edge. If you had a world where gold buying was actually, like, not possible, or you'd definitely 100% get banned if you gold bought, and then you allowed GDKP, I think, and this is gonna offend some people, I think the people that are complaining about GDKP right now, if they were in that world, they would just be complaining that, oh, they don't have a prot paladin to solo farm Stratholme. How can they compete because they don't have a prot paladin to do this gold farm, or they don't have a rogue to, you know, solo Black Temple trash and farm gold that way. How can they compete with the rogue farmers? That's what I think would happen. The people complaining about GDP now would just complain about other classes being able to farm gold better than them or something. I don't think anything dropped in Tempest Keep that's good for me. They played the game. What I'm saying is that I think the people complaining about GDKP just like complaining. They may have some, you know, whatever. The hypothetical world where players actually get banned for gold buying is just like not gonna exist ever. All right, how about this? How about this while we bid out these items? This is what I think. I think a good way forward, you know, they don't seem to want to unban GDKPs on the North America servers. What I was talking about before is reasons that a legitimate player would like a GDKP raid. It incentivizes gear, you know, it gives, sorry, let me start again. It provides a reward for every participant of the raid that's valuable and, you know, a reward for their time spent. So you go to a GDKP raid, you know you're going to get something valuable for your time. Normally, the expectation in an SR raid is you walk out with nothing. That's the, on average, normal outcome, which is, you know, not very appealing to some people. Also, because it's got a reward that's valuable to everyone, it incentivizes geared and experienced players to continue running raids, so you typically have more of the old content being run, because you have these geared players running the old content, helping making it smoother, helping make more raids actually happen, which is good for being able to bring new players into the game that don't already have a bunch of gear, right? If older raids are still being run, there's a reason for the geared players to do them. Good. This is all good. You know, you get a bit more control over what you want, right? You can choose to spend the gold you have one way or another. So there's a lot of legitimate things that are good here. Mainly the, like, reward that's valuable to everyone. That's, like, the main thing, I would say. Has a lot of positive effects. My proposal, which is a loot system I heard from someone else that they said exists in some other game, is you take each of the raids, and then you take the very last boss, and you make it drop a token. Like a badge of justice, but it'd be particular to that boss. Right? Like a symbol of Ragnaros. And everyone in the raid can loot one symbol of Ragnaros off the boss. So, like, you kill him with 40 people, each person gets one symbol of Ragnaros. This is a fully tradable token. Okay? You could trade it to other people, you can auction house it, whatever. You can sell it to someone else for gold or put it on the auction house or whatever. You can also go to a vendor, and the vendor is going to have almost every item that drops in Molten Core on the vendor in exchange for some amount of those symbol of Ragnaros. Like maybe Onslaught Girdle is like 12 symbol of Ragnaros or something. Or maybe more. I don't know. You'd balance it out. Maybe you exclude the legendary items, maybe not, whatever. But the point is, you try to put in the game a reward that's valuable to every player that attends the raid, whether you're geared or not, you know, a reason to be in there, reason to do the raid. And I think this would be great because it would capture the benefits for legitimate players of a GDKP system. It'd be and it would remove gold buyers from having an advantage in the raid. You would not have a gold buyer join the raid and then take loot from legitimate players. Okay? You know, gold buying, I don't think is ever going to be stamped out. Blizzard's just not willing to put forth the effort to make that happen. That's just not a reality. But with this system, the gold buyers are not in your raid taking your loot. Gold buyers can still buy a bunch of gold, buy a bunch of tokens on the auction house, and then get their gear or whatever, but that separates them from being in your raid taking your loot. So I think that would be a great system. And it's not really that hard to implement. They basically have systems almost identical to that already. Is this for real? Did we get a 1,000 gold payout for this raid? Are we minus 3,000 gold because I got like 4 items? I think I got one, two, three. Yeah, we got 4 items. I'm like minus insane amounts of gold. We got a really low payout today. Gold buyers would drive up prices of tokens to make it super expensive for legit players. That's fine, okay? You can just, as a legit player, you can just keep your token. If you want to, you can keep your tokens, use it as like a bad luck protection, whatever. The tokens are not meant for everyone to be able to buy all of their gear with tokens. They're, you know, you can keep them yourself. You can choose to sell them if you want to pay for your raid consumables that way. And like, if the price of the tokens goes up, then the legitimate players getting them get to sell them for more. When I say legitimate, what I mean is players that are not buying gold. Did I not get a top damage dealer payout, or they didn't do that yet, or maybe they aren't doing it in this raid and I was misinformed. Let me see if I can pull up Warcraft logs. I think I was top 2. I'm going to award myself 300 gold, which I can't actually literally do, but let's see if we were actually the top in the top 2 melee damage dealers. All boss kills. No! I got outdone by Lucchese by... How did he have 5% more uptime than me? I didn't die. I died at the end of one of the boss. Damn, we were not in the top 3. F. Was very close, though. Damn, we got cooked by that warrior. I thought we did way better. I mean, look at that Morogrim. We crushed it on Morogrim. Void Reaver, absolutely owning. Lurker Below, pretty good. Oh, we're 3rd on that one. Okay, whatever. Doo-doo-doo. Congrats on the new gear. Yeah, we got some good items. Pretty much all for minimum bid or next to minimum bid. Shoulder pads of the Stranger. We got the helm token, the leg token, and we got the necklace upgrade. A little bit of a mid upgrade, I would say, but whatever. Has your main caught up to your alt? I think that's about even now in terms of item level. I'll have to process all of it, get it, you know, enchanted gemmed, work out my hit rating and expertise on all the characters figured out. What do you win, Mr. Simon? I was in heroics for most of the raids. 4 items. We got leg token, helm token, we got the choker of animalistic fury, and we got the shoulder pads of the stranger.